So guys, welcome back. Basically today we'll be looking at CSS. We'll be looking at the basis of CSS. I will simplify some concepts on CSS. So first, what's the meaning of CSS? So our CSS is known as cascading or style sheet. So CSS stands for cascading style sheet, just like we have here, and it's different language than HTML. It's also a programming language, but it's different than it's different from HTML, different from JavaScript. So CSS allows you to add color style to our web browser. CSS is also used to define style for your web pages, including your design, the layout, and variation in display for different devices on and the screen size. All these are the work of the CSS. So let's look at some things here. Okay. Now we have two ways of inputting CSS in our HTML. We have two different ways. You can put this in inline or outer. The inline part I'm talking about is when we have style. So style, then we have our let me do H1. H1. Sorry. We start our H1 here. These are the different type of this is the inline type of HTML. This is the inline type of this is the inline type of CSS. This is the inline type of the CSS. So this is there. So this is the inline type of the CSS. You can just say color. Our color should be what red. So when we load our browser, you can see now my header, my H1 element is already having the red color that I input the red color. So this is another part of CSS input. The other part is also known as extended, whereby we are having at this header part we'll be including our link. We are going to link our CSS href. Then let's create a CSS. Okay, I have one here. Welcome to CSS. So I'll do welcome to CSS. So this and I'm going to save. With this now, I can open my CSS file and let's do something body. My body should be what? Background color. Background of what? Let's say background color. I wish you have a background color of, let me say, blue. To save. So I check my sorry. What am I doing now? Okay, I didn't this thing. Okay, why am I making a mistake? Okay, I think sorry, I didn't include my relative here. Relative or style sheet. So once I go to save, see, back to my blue color now is showing, which is what I did here. So that is a different type of input in HTML. The way you can input your CSS into your HTML is either you use the inline. Sorry, I cancel this. So is either you use your inline or external. So let's continue. Okay, now let's look at basic syntax in CSS. So there are actually three main parts of CSS. That is, we have three main parts of CSS on syntax. These are, we have the selectors, we have the properties, and we have the values. So let's do the selectors. These are elements being selected. Like now, I want to start a particular part in an HTML. Let's see. Let me go back here. Look at this. Look at this H1 now. This is a selector. This H1 is selected. Is a selector which I selected from my HTML. But you pick form now and do something here is another selector. So that is the example of a selector. Then we have properties. Properties are aspects of the elements being styled. This is a particular part of the element being styled. I also have the value. The value, the style being applied. So let's check. Okay, look at it now. This P now, I have P. P stands for paragraph. I'm trying to start my paragraph, then add the color. Then the color should have a value of blue. So the P here now is the selector. P is selector. Color is the properties. and blue is the value I'm adding to my property. So both the three of them works hand in hand. Okay, under selectors now we have different types of selectors. We have the universal selectors. Universal selectors that select all elements, everything on your HTML. We use universal selector to select everything on your HTML. We have type selectors. These are tag elements, just like our H1, div, and all that. We also have what attribute selectors. Attribute selector. So this attribute selector, the way we set attribute selector is far different from others. Selector is used to select elements with a specific attribute. For instance, now we have a class. Then in our class we have our class is what do I call it? Maybe like top blue. So we do class and put the value we added in our class. Just like you are just write class here, then the value probably we use the value as or top, or we name it top, or we name it body. So we just put it here and we'll be able to style it. I will do the practical aspect. I said and whose value can exactly be specified value. You can specify it with anything, or the specified value followed by what an hyphen. So we also have the class selector. The class selector we have just like this. Let me see, this is an example of class selector. In our HTML now, I can have a class here. I have a class of header. Save. So with this class now is with this class I added now with the value of header, I can easily call this header on my HTML. I can easily call the header here. I can just do to call this class we use dot header. When I close this header now, I'll be able to style this particular element. So let's go back. We also have the ID tag. ID tag, these are tagged elements by ID. For example, look at this now. You can just say, okay, at this particular form now, can you perform an ID? You have idea of form. Just say to call the ID here and style them, you can just use hash form. Then style our particular form. So let's continue. So here now, okay, now these are the practical aspect of the selectors. So look at this particular sign now, this star sign. This star sign is used for universal selector. Universal selector in the aspect that I can style everything here, everything from head to toe without universal selector. I can use it to style everything. We use universal selector when we are trying to do work on every element on the HTML. But if you are trying to use just particular one element, so we have to use this class and the class, the attribute, and the ID selectors. So the tag selector, just like this one, use it to tag the type selector. You have the tag before. These are pseudo. We'll talk about pseudo later. As we talk about pseudo, I'll explain how we use pseudo. We have tag before, tag after. These are pseudo elements. These are the class. We call our class with dot. And this is the class before. This is pseudo also. These are our attribute selectors, and we also have ID selectors. So let's move on. Now let's go to CSS properties. CSS properties, these are the list of most, if not all CSS properties. So these are the list of most, if not all CSS properties. That the moment to be able to do anything, you can just say, okay, you should be able to know your padding, how to use padding, what padding is used for, be able to know margin, how margin works, our border, and your background, how to use your background color, your font. This font, especially this font, font comes in different form. If you are using this particular form now, you'll be able to start everything at a time. But if you just want to specify, then you can use font family, font weight, font size, font style, font display. It also works with width too. Is it width? Okay, let's go. We have width too, width, height, max width, and max height. What about that? The most, they are least used, sha. Or use them when they are necessary. You have position, you can position your elements. Z index are used when we have different layouts. Maybe you want to be at the top, you don't want to be at the bottom. You have Z index. You also have opacity. Opacity reduce the brightness of a particular text. You can make it to fade out, you can make it to fade in. Those are what you use opacity for. You also have top, right, bottom, left, display. How you want your stuff to display, you can align your text, justify content. All these things will do the practical aspect. We also have the grid. When we want to talk about the grid and flex boards, those are the way we arrange our pictures or templates. So it will be responsible on our site, whereby when we are trying to zoom in, we won't be having some space empty and some this thing, some parts open and some parts is just closed. So that way we use our grid. We have grid, we have this to flexbox. So we use our transform. All these are CSS work. You have transform, transition, and animation. Whereby you have animation, you can display things, can make your work to display. Whereby you having zoom in, zoom out, rolling, a moving bus, a moving text. Um, I think I have one here. Let me check. Let me check something. Okay, I've seen one. So guys, look at this. Look at what we have on this side. This is the work of animation. So look at this. Whereby we come up, then by the right, then like this is the work of animation. You can see when I over it comes. So this is work of animation. We'll look at that gradually as we move on. Probably I'll have to demarcate the class into we'll first treat colors. After treating colors, we'll go to animation before moving on. Okay, so let's move ahead. I think I have one last part here. Let me zoom this. Okay, this is how margin border comes in place. We have in our margin now we have border, inside border we have padding. Padding are used to style something inside. This is work of the padding and this is work of the margin. Just demarcate uh top, margin left, margin right, margin bottom. You can just once you use ordinary margin, you are calling everything at a time. But once you use margin top, you just style only the top, you put margin at the top. Once you use margin left, you put margin at the left, margin bottom, put margin at the bottom, margin right, put margin at the left, right. Also padding inside let me just say let's use margin as the container now. Margin is the container now. Inside the container now we will have the padding. So it's padding that will separate things in the container. So probably as we move on, we'll move to practical aspects in our next class. So I think we are done. That is that for now. So thank you very much, guys.